You like what I did there with the title? I put next gen in quotes because people are disappointed with what's offered with the next gen update. It's a little tongue in cheek saying that, like it's not really next gen or it didn't really live up to expectations. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty clever. The Fallout 4 Next Gen update has arrived, and boy, oh boy, is it a different reaction than Bethesda has just recently received with the fantastic Fallout television series that's appeared on Amazon Prime. Now, I will say from experience, I have been able to play the update. I've been able to check out everything the update has added to Fallout 4 with minimal problems. But I did still have a couple of hiccups, and from what I'm seeing, a lot more people had even bigger hiccups than I did. One thing I want to address before I forget about it, because I don't have something that correlates to this setting. I don't have a widescreen monitor, but I saw various reports of like the new widescreen support just stretching the image across the screen without caring about the ratio. That's part of the reason I'm not really using a script on this particular video. Not even really using bullet points, but just kind of going off the dome. I think it's a little bit more genuine because you're getting my like unfiltered response to the update. But judging by how much effort Bethesda put into this next gen update, I'm not going to put more effort into my video than they did this update. I'm not trying to be cheeky or disrespectful to Bethesda when I say that, but when you explain some of the things that when I explain them to you, or you have seen some of the things that I've seen online recently about this update, maybe you'll understand. One thing I do want to address is that something that I never thought would be fixed in Fallout 4 has been fixed with the next gen update. I have a video, you may be able to find it, but it's years old, where I said the Creation Club still breaks Fallout 4. And it discusses that if you have all of the Creation Club, which I imagine Bethesda would want you to because they're selling it, if you load into a new game or start a new game in Fallout 4, get out of the vault, sometimes the vault door won't open. That's a Creation Club problem. But getting past that, when you go to Sanctuary for the first time and you meet Codsworth, he will just simply freeze when he's supposed to be, quote, checking the neighborhood. That's where he goes around and kills a few bloatflies in a house looking for Sean and or the missus. Anyway, if you're playing as a male, he's looking for the missus. Anyway, so when we load up Fallout 4 now with the next gen update, that no longer happens. So if you have all of the Creation Club and you talk to Codsworth, what happened before was your quest log was far too full to understand what the fuck is going on, and then when the quest to go to Concord shows up, it kind of glitches Codsworth out because you have too many quests in the game thinks you would at this point. Something along those lines. That's my non-game dev, someone who's never worked on a video game, someone who just plays them and reports on them for a job. That is my take from that. Of course, I don't know for sure if that's exactly what's going on. That's just what it seems like is going on and what people have reported is going on. That the quest log gets too full, whatever. That doesn't seem to happen anymore. Happy day. I loaded up Fallout 4 Vanilla to try this new next gen update, completely fresh out of the box. Started a new game, got out of the vault. Codsworth worked, went to talk to Preston, and I noticed immediately that, oh my god, the lip syncing is atrocious. The dialogue is getting skipped almost immediately, as opposed to being read out by the NPCs like it's supposed to. Their lips aren't matching the words at all. You can see them start talking a full 5-6 seconds before the dialogue starts to play, which then results in the animation going the right speed, but the dialogue not playing at the right speed, so the dialogue gets skipped on its own. It's a big weird thing that happens, and it's tied to the frame rate. This is something that the creation engine is notorious for, the physics being tied to the frame rate. So what I had to end up doing vanilla right out of the box, turning on my NVIDIA control panel, going to the 3D settings and capping the frame rate. I capped it to 120. You can pick your poison on that one, whatever you see fit, but 120 seems to be working fine. Fix the lip syncing problem. Some problems that other people were having on PC is, oh my god, I'm playing Fallout 4 for the first time with this next-gen update, and my game keeps crashing. Every time I do anything, my game is just crashing and crashing and crashing. This is something, again, much like the high FPS situation with lip syncing that should have been fixed in a, quote, next-gen update. It's tied to the weapon debris. So you go into your settings and you turn off weapon debris, and now your game's not crashing all the time. You've capped it at 120. The reason I had to cap it at 120 frames per second is because I have an RTX 4090 and it blows Fallout 4 out of the fucking water. So the frame rate's far too fast. It's probably pulling 200 or 300 frames per second. I didn't check, but I know that I get that with Cyberpunk. Anyway, we fixed those two things. Now you can play Fallout 4 vanilla with a few tweaks on PC. Everything's good to go. I went and checked out the Creation Club stuff. You know what? There's not a whole lot offered. I was going to like kind of deep dive the Creation Club stuff, but there's not much to deep dive. So I'm going to give you a few rundowns from memory of what happened in the Creation Club. I played through it last night, freshly woken up this morning. Here's my take on it. The makeshift weapons worked for me, but if you're on Xbox Series X, I've seen a lot of people report missing textures, big red triangles and exclamation points everywhere. So apparently Xbox Series X, you don't get your makeshift weapons yet. I don't know if that's for everybody that's on the Series X or if it was just for some people, maybe. But again, you can't really mess with the files on an Xbox unless you're some kind of, like somebody who really goes into those files with SD cards and edits them on your computer and stuff. So most people, 90% of people that are just playing Fallout 4 on Series X aren't going to have a fix for that. They're not going to know what's going on. I don't know a fix for it. I don't know if you can fix it. Hopefully Bethesda patches it for the people. I have PC, I have Xbox Series X, and I have PS5. I have not tried this update on Series X. I have not tried it on PS5, but I have watched the community and the people who have chosen other consoles and seen their complaints. Anyways, so when it comes to the Creation Club, first, let's talk about the makeshift weapons. It immediately gives you a few of these weapons. I'm pretty sure all of them. The prize possession of this was something called the Flacker, which I couldn't find any ammo for. And actually, people were asking on Twitter, like, where's the ammo? Because it just says Nuka ammo. I don't know. Maybe you have to craft it with the Nuka Chemist perk. I don't know if that's even a perk in Fallout 4. But I know that you can make Nuka-inspired explosives. Maybe you have to make that ammo. I might not have been paying attention. Maybe it told me that. But we get things like that. We get the Piggy Bank Fat Man, which launches... it's a Fat Man, but instead of a mini nuke, it's a piggy bank. Has the exact same effects, just makes different noises. We have the Saw Blade gun. It does exactly what you think it's going to do. It shoots saw blades. We have the nail gun. It does exactly what you think it's going to do. It shoots nails. We have the baseball launcher. It does exactly what you think it's going to do. It shoots baseballs. We have a couple of new like pipe grenade rifles. Again, they're grenade rifles. I don't expect any new weapons to like change the mold or anything like that. In fact, I appreciate it when they don't. These go in fine with the base of Fallout 4. Just some new fun weapons to find while you're out and about in the Commonwealth. Nothing wrong with that. The Halloween Workshop, my favorite of the three, which is saying something, by the way, because we all know that there's an Enclave update too. My favorite of the three being the Halloween decorations update, which sees you go through this like little store that has a bunch of the decorations up. You kill a few ghouls that have some unique masks and hats, like the felt hat added to Fallout 4 now. Top tier. Looks great. Can't wait to wear it. You go through all that. You see some of the decorations all set up. They look pretty cool. You take them. At the end, you get a picket fence magazine that gives you the Halloween decorations. Bada bing. Go back to your settlement. You can decorate a house all decked out in Halloween stuff. I like the colors of the lights. I like some of the stuff that's added here. The candles that are in the bottles. They have a turned off variation and a lit variation, which I thought, I guess you can't turn a candle off, but an unlit and a lit version of these candles. Same with the jack-o'-lanterns that you can place around, hanging ghosts and witches, and little specimen jars with like different organs in them, just spooky stuff. Cauldrons filled with Nuka-Cola Quantum. Nothing that you can directly interact with or that like really changes if you do have it around. It doesn't really change anything, but they do look neat, and the bombs dropped in October of 2077, so having a Halloween-themed decoration situation, that's fine with me. And it looks great. Honestly, this is my favorite of the 3 Creation Club updates. Next is Echoes from the Past, the Enclave quest. This is a well put together quest that I've heard. I didn't confirm, but I've heard from various people that have talked and posted replies to the stuff I've been posting that this is from the same mod author who made America Rising and America Rising 2 for Fallout 4, 2 of the most acclaimed Enclave mods in the Fallout series, let alone Fallout 4. I don't have a negative thing to say about well, it's not that it's bad. It's not bad at all. It does a good job of bringing in a couple of Enclave troops. Very hard fights, by the way. I had to go at it with a level 100 character before I felt like I could really handle it. Obviously, you don't have to be level 100. You could probably be, 20 or 30 and handle it or whatever. But my level 100 character still had some problems with really good weapons. So they're very hard and fun fights. Very short quest. You end up fighting a couple of groups of Enclave at different encampments, and it leads you to the Glowing Sea, one big battle with a vertibird, a couple of Enclave's soldiers. One of the cool things about it is if you have other Enclave Creation Club stuff, that stuff will be spawned on those soldiers. The big reward for this is when you finish Echoes from the Past, the main quest of the Creation Club, you get 3 bonus I would call them miscellaneous bonus quests, where you go to different Enclave encampments, clear those out, and then there's a magazine there that gives you different things you can build at settlements that are Enclave related. You get 2 flags, a couple of turrets, and a bunch of barricades, but that's all we really see. And an Enclave communications tower. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it does anything. In-game, there's no description saying that the Enclave communication tower does anything. You can turn it off and on. It does require power to do so, but I think it's just an aesthetic piece like most of the other stuff. There is an Enclave outpost so that you could assign your guards in a settlement to that outpost, and it's Enclave themed to look like the barricades. The flags are great, but I feel like not a whole lot was offered here. The quest was incredibly short and just featured, it was just pretty combat heavy, which, I mean, a lot of the Creation Club stuff is. This is counted as a Creation Club, and it's included, quote, free, unless you're on PlayStation, free for users. So I'm not going to nitpick and say, oh, this isn't enough, blah, 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 blah. It's, the Creation Club stuff that's offered isn't really the problem with this update. It's neat that things are added to the game. I'm always excited to have new things added to the game. The catalyst with this update is that it's being billed and advertised as a, quote, next-gen update, when many things that games coming out these days, it's a given, will be features, are totally absent from this update. There's still bugs and problems that existed in Fallout 4 that aren't even addressed in this update. One of the ones that I noticed as soon as I left Vault 111 was that the puddles, when they're like an ice blue or like a super sky blue, because it's reflecting the sky into the puddle, and it makes it look like shit. It makes it look like blue antifreeze or like windshield wiper fluid is just like on the fucking ground. And then if you like reload, it'll go back to the way it's supposed to look, where it's like an actual water puddle. That still exists in this next gen update, but that's not game breaking. That's like, I didn't encounter any game breaking things. Granted, I didn't go through the whole main quest or anything like that. It's just little things like that add up, and that's not the only thing that wasn't addressed. Another thing that I want to call attention to, 2 things, and I don't know if it's just me, is why I'm calling attention to them. My load times on PC haven't tested them on console, but my load times on PC seemingly doubled, if not tripled in some places. Before, it was almost instant everywhere I went, even downtown Boston. Downtown Boston would take the longest 10, 15, 20 seconds max. Now, I'm sitting there for 30, 45 seconds. But I saw people on PlayStation saying that they have near instant load times. So I don't know if that's just me. But another thing I want to address is I tried jumping with my character, and it seems like my jumps are stunted. And I don't know if that's like a frame rate thing, because I capped my frame rate at 120, but it was happening before I did that. And it seems to be happening after. It's like I can't quite tell if that's what's happening or not. So let me know if you feel like your jumps aren't as high as they used to be in Fallout 4, because there's things that I feel like I could normally jump on top of or clear, and like I jump like half that height. And I can't tell if I'm just going crazy or if like jumps aren't right. And then I was like, maybe it's agility, but one of my characters is pretty good with agility, and so let me know, because it made me feel a little crazy. I was like, is that what's going on? So overall, a lot of people said they turned off automatic updates so that they would. Oh, that actually reminds me of my last point. It was very insulting to mod authors. People who were making giant mods for Fallout 4 felt pretty blindsided by this announcement and release of the next gen update. I will cite, because it's already been talked about publicly in like a BBC article and whatever, the lead behind Fallout London. The reason I take notice of this is because Bethesda had they didn't have an official working relationship with this team, but they had a relationship of sorts with this team. They poached many of their team members to work on 76 and other projects at Bethesda. They straight up went into that mod team and hired people from there. So I know that Bethesda knows of this mod. I know that they've talked to the people of this mod. I know that they've given them their blessings and told them how excited they are for their mod and everything. So it is a bit odd that Bethesda didn't contact some of these larger mod creators that are very, like, because Fallout London already had a release date. Like, it was like 2 days before this was supposed to come out. The next gen update for Fallout 4 was supposed to come out. So it's strange to me that Bethesda wasn't just like even a heads up, like, oh hey, we are going to release this. You can tweak your games like that, your mod like this, and it'll prevent problem. Like, any pointers that they could have given, they totally just left them out in the cold, didn't say anything to them. So I feel like this next gen update was a bit of an insult to mod authors, but I'm not a mod author, so I'm not going to speak for them. I'm just saying, outside looking in, I understand why some of them are a little miffed, a little upset that Bethesda didn't include them in any of these plans. Bethesda doesn't have to do that, but it just seems like the nice thing to do. It seems like it's something that would have happened through that chain of command because they had been working with that team. Not working with them on the mod, but they had been hiring people from the team, in contact with that team, and giving that team their blessing. So it's strange to me that they weren't even thought of when this was coming out, because they subsequently had to delay their mod. It really beat them up. I think it hurt their feelings. It hurt their feelings, and I understand why. But I'm not here to dwell on that. It was another passing thought I had about this update. Regardless, overall, I want to say that it's cool that Fallout 4 is getting a next-gen update. But when I think of a next-gen update, I think that my RTX 4090 will be able to run Fallout 4 vanilla right off of Steam with no problems. I think that the load times shouldn't be as bad for a game that's 9 years old, 10 years old. I think that like the things with like lip syncing or crashing when weapon debris, it's like you turn the game on ultra settings default because you have a good computer, and then you crash all the time because one of the settings is causing the game to crash in 2024 from a 2015 video game. So it's just, these problems aren't what normal, like the other game companies don't have these problems when they release games. Bethesda does. Now, I'm not saying that Bethesda's the only company that releases something half-baked or perhaps, a little lackluster, but it certainly does seem to be the pattern for them. Interestingly enough, something I do want to bring up before we finish this out too is Amazon started copyright takedowning memes on Twitter that featured screen caps of the Fallout show. This is after the Fallout show's success. Like, everybody was so excited and talking about the Fallout show, and then that started happening. Now, I don't know how many times they did it, but they did do it at least once, and that's just strange to me. It's strange that you're going to take all this publicity and all this like goodwill that all the fans are having, and you're going to shit on it like that. Copyright striking memes on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But then on the flip side of that, Bethesda then releases this lackluster update that breaks a bunch of mods, adds virtually nothing to the game except a few Creation Club items and stuff like that. And if you're on console, 4K and 60 frames, but good luck with that, because I heard that only performance mode is working right now. So it's just strange. It's to follow, like, why even release it is my question. Everybody was playing Fallout 4 just fine and having a great time with it. What, you were already getting a boost of sales from the show to the point where it was like Fallout 4 was like 7,600 700, like literally 7,600%, like higher in the sales after the show came out in Europe and other select markets after the show, because people were interested in playing the games and like getting into them. And you release this that totally breaks the games, exposes the age of the creation engine and like the follies of it, upsets your like mod authors who keep the game alive and keep people excited for the games while you guys are working on other things. It's strange to me, but it's like, it shouldn't, it's not surprising. Like people, I've had people reply on Twitter like, oh, are you surprised? It's like, no, I'm not surprised. It's just like, it's weird to me. It's such a weird business move, because it fucked over a bunch of really, like, at least one really big mod that everybody was really excited about. We would be playing right now. Like, we would be 3 days into Fallout London, lore, streams, video, you know, just like all that stuff that could be made about Fallout London and talked about with Fallout London. But no, we had to get some shoehorned Enclave and Halloween decorations and broken textures update that gives me very smooth frame rate, very smooth gameplay, but has doubled my loading times on PC. Again, don't know what's going on with console. So those are my thoughts on the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. Let me know what you think of it down below. And also follow me on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. That's where I post a lot of my updates and thoughts that don't make it into videos, that I'm just like kind of thinking about Fallout and stuff like that. So check it out. Also, we stream quite often. Make sure to come by one of those, chat with me in the chat. That would be great. I hope to catch you on the next one. It has been Mantis.